Walk me through, in your view, how Russian money is playing out in the market right now, because we know a lot of folks are headed to this part of the world as a result of what's happening right now in Russia.
There's the Russian money, but there's also the Chinese money before that. So if you look at emerging market flows, you've had a bit of a de-risking mode from China last year as a result of the Chinese Communist Party policy and restrictions on the capital markets. And now Russia, obviously, with all these restrictions and all basically closing the capital market. So you see two of the main EM, obviously China is the dinosaur, but two of the main EM markets, basically, all this capital is flowing from the passive, but also active funds. And where is it going to go? You have Latin America in terms of emerging market, but also the Gulf. And all of a sudden, the Gulf and the MENA, which has been a massive underweight position for most of, and there's been a massive now today catch-up play for all these people coming into the MENA region. So there's an indirect effect and a direct effect of this money. And you see it in the flows in Saudi Arabia, for example. Year to date, we're at like about $5.5–6 billion of inflow, which is higher than last year already, 3 months into the year. And we're kind of like tracking on being as big as a year for inflows as we were for MSCI inclusion for Saudi in 2019. And that's only we're 2–3 months into the year. So there's a direct correlation today between what's happening, I think, geopolitically and economically for the capital market outflows from these markets and materializing into inflows. And it's another, I would say, one of the stars aligned for the GCC region.
It's interesting. Just a few days ago, we saw this bilateral trade agreement between Israel and the UAE really, solidifying, if you will. And I had John Medved on from Our Crowd a few days ago. He was telling me essentially that they'd seen $6 billion flooding into the Israeli companies in the first quarter of the year, and most of that was foreign money. How soon do you see that kind of level of interest and investment making its way to the UAE as a result of that kind of agreement? Because really, we've seen a lot of capital outflow to Israeli companies and in that sense of putting some investment there. But are we going to see that coming back?
From the Israeli side?
From the Israeli side, yeah. Or frankly, I mean, when you see a Mubadala, when you see what they're trying to do here at ADGM, so many people have been messaging us and saying, hey, we're opening up another office in ADGM. We're coming to the UAE because of the policies of this country. Do you see that this will be a massive boon to the UAE market?
I think let's start with the opportunities in the UAE. Like you mentioned DIWA. I think opening the capital market also provides more room for a lot of the global investors, Israeli included, to potentially inject as well liquidity. So there's more opportunities in the UAE today. There will be more opportunities. Abu Dhabi has led that IPO spree over the past 24 months, and now Dubai is following suit as well. All also following the Saudis. So you expect a lot of the capital from other developed and developing markets to also pour into the UAE as a result of that. The DIWA IPO is going to be massively subscribed locally, but also internationally. So you also see a lot of Israeli interest in opening shop in the IFC, in Abu Dhabi.
Is that the prelude, perhaps, at some point to Saudi Arabia?
Well, I mean,
remains to be seen.
Yeah, so far the political establishment in Saudi has clearly said that this is not on the table for now.